Hi, curious people who are interested in what the heck is A Course in Miracles? Who's curious and has checked around some, like has a gut feeling about, I want this transcendent experience. You know, I mean, if life is supposed to be miraculous, my life isn't. I need help. A Course in Miracles, to start with, does not require you to make giant leaps of faith. It asks you to try out the ideas. You don't have to believe them. You don't have to like them. You may actively resist them, it says. But try them on, like putting on a costume. Just try it on. Or actually, it's more like taking off parts of your costume and seeing how it works. So it's a learning situation. The course is made up of a text, a workbook, and a manual for teachers. Doesn't that sound like maybe a university course? Well, anybody can do it. We teach close reading, and we say close reading pays rich rewards and anyone could do it. But if the book is not for you, that's okay. That's really fine. I want you to get something out of this, like some basic ideas of what A Course in Miracles is and does and can do for you. So, baseline, the very first and primary thing that A Course talks about is that we got it all wrong about what's real. Now, quantum physics says the same thing, doesn't it? It's like completely turns everything upside down. Totally, right? So does the Course. It's parallel. It's not the same thing. They're like two accessible ways, accessible for some people, accessible ways for people to access a whole new way of seeing the world. And it requires taking up your power, but we're afraid of our power as long as we have anger and fear running our lives. Can you get that? We're afraid of our power as long as we're aware, like subliminally aware, that there is fear and anger and confusion running ourselves, right? It's like we know we can't trust ourselves as we see ourselves as egos. And so we hide our power. A Course in Miracles will restore your power to you with forgiveness, which means letting go of all of that thought system of the ego. The ego's thought system is fear. That's what it is. So, man, you can learn a lot just by following this series. You know, subscribe to it. Oh, do whatever, give a notification. Listen, spread it around if you think it's useful. Okay, no more commercial. So the whole idea of what's real and what's perceptual is a foundation of the Course. And it teaches us to recognize the difference. So to skip to all the way to the end of the Course, there is a process of listening for guidance that says, part of the process, one of the steps is, I don't know what anything means. I don't know what this means. In fact, the workbook starts out with that. I don't know what's going on here. We have to clear our own minds of what we think is going on, what we're taught was going on. And I'm not talking about, who's correct on the political spectrum or what's right medically, or none of that. That all belongs in the category of believing the body is real. When we believe the body is real, we believe the brain can tell us. In other words, everything I have learned is telling me what is real. Well, A Course in Miracles says you're more than your brain. This brain and body are an instrument. This is if you want to shift, okay? Some people will find this way too challenging. I'm giving you the big picture here, but I'm giving it to you in a hopefully from my own perspective. Don't think I'm an expert. I have been doing it 40 years. Okay. A Course in Miracles is telling us that the mind is not the brain, and the mind is free. When the mind chooses to listen to a program, let's say, upload a program into the mind called the ego, and let the ego run the thing, the life, we then believe that we are a brain, a body, and the truth is everything we have learned with this brain and body. That's the truth. The Course says deep within you, there is a part of you that has never bought into this dream, into this story. There's a part of you that knows the truth, knows you are powerful, that you are free. The world isn't telling you how you have to be and feel. And you are loving, and you are totally sinless. Now that's where a lot of people freak out. What? If there's no sin, then how are we going to control bad people? We don't. We step back into the part of our mind that made up that whole story of pain, grief, sadness, anger, that whole story, which is based on judgment. Look at the news. It's all a question of who's wrong, what bad things are going to happen. It's all from that ego program. Now, listen, we can't make the ego sinful. Oh, he has such a big ego, or, oh my God, I have such an ego. No. So what? We listen to the ego. The Course is about complete and total forgiveness, which means recognizing that what we thought the world is, and what we thought we are, and what we thought we did is not real. It's a dream. Okay, so some of you have dabbled in Buddhism or other esoteric kinds of mind expansion. And you probably recognize that when I say dream, it's what many of the paths call an illusion. Yes, A Course in Miracles is teaching us to know the difference between what's real, love, and what's an illusion, everything that's generated by the ego. See you later. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. Also, you could go to YouTube and choose the playlist for A Course in Miracles for the Curious and start at number 1 and go right straight through.